This friend of mine brought back his foreship and hadn't dropped any bombs. Walked into the debrief room and looked at me and said, "Swill," and this is a direct quote from him, he said, "The parking lot at that radio station looked like a Walmart on a Saturday morning." He said, "There's no way I was going to drop weapons on that parking lot, on that radio station, and kill that many civilians. I'm not doing it." I said, "You know what, buddy? Good call." So we went back to the KHOC and told them that we didn't drop on this target, and they were not happy with us at all. We told them why, and they said, "Okay, that's fine." And funnily enough, that night, the frag got changed that night, and one of the targets that we had got dropped, and guess what showed up again? They said, "Fine, you don't want to take it out in the daytime, you've got a moral problem with that, that's fine. Go back and get it tonight." So we went back and we took it out that night, and there were about 3 cars. I personally watched the video of that afterwards, and there were about 3 cars in the parking lot that night. So a different kind of conflict, and tough on our guys in some ways. Very mentally tough, I think, on some of the guys pressing those pickle buttons, and also mentally tough on a lot of the guys loading the bombs up. Had a lot of long chats with some of our armorers that had some problems kind of reconciling what we were doing over there. Well, what was the goal of the mission over there? You know, I'm no politician. I never will be. In this case, you know, there were some issues with what Serbia and Kosovo were going through, and the West deemed it appropriate that they wanted Serbia to cease and desist, and that's what it was all about. So we dropped a lot of bombs in Kosovo. We dropped a lot of bombs on Serbia, and eventually they ceased and desisted. I find it very interesting. I found it very interesting, especially having done a tour on the ground in Bosnia in '96, how the West and the Western media labeled the Serbs as the bad guys. I don't quite agree with that. There were no good guys over there. There were no white hats. It just depended who had the upper hand in what place and what circumstances as to who was doing the atrocities. These folks have they've got history that we don't really understand in Canada. It goes back hundreds and hundreds of years.